Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to my show Connecting with Saima. Welcome everyone and thank you so much for watching this show today. The purpose for bringing this program today is to educate people how can we live purposeful life. And we're going to discuss this with our very beautiful and talented Sehr Mahmood. She's a very successful real estate broker in GTA. Sehr, can you please tell me a little more about yourself?
Assalamualaikum, Saima, and thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm very excited to be here. So I basically grew up in Karachi, Pakistan. I did my entire high school education there. And when I was 18, I decided that I wanted to study abroad. So I applied to a university called Tufts University in Boston, Massachusetts. I was there for 2 years. And unfortunately, after the second year, my parents said, you know what, Sehr, our business is not going too well. We cannot afford to keep, sending you to Boston to finish your education. I had 2 years left at that time. So they gave me enough money to get through one more semester in Boston. So I said, that doesn't help me because I can't do half my education and then nothing after that. So I looked at places that I could go for cheaper, and Canada came up as an option. I applied to York University here, and I finished my economics degree in Canada, and that's how I actually got here. So wow. It was just by chance. I came here with no family, no friends, didn't know anybody, and thought I got to give it a chance.
Wow, that's great. Looks like you had a very hard journey.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you get into real estate?
So I had a very, very tough time because once I graduated undergrad, at that time, and it might have changed now, this is years ago, but at that time when I was applying to jobs, I managed to get a job that I liked at a bank. Like it was just an entry-level job and I was excited. One day they called me and said, you know what, we actually cannot offer you this position because we didn't realize that you were an international student. So this was the first hurdle that I had. As I embarked as an immigrant to this country, they said, you don't have a work permit and we cannot get you a work permit because it has to be a job that a Canadian cannot do. So because this is an entry-level bank job, there's many Canadians who could do that bank job, and that's where my struggle first started. How do I get an opportunity that I can be able to get a work permit and actually get approved? So I found an accounting firm that needed a translator who could speak a little bit of Urdu and Hindi as well for their clients. And then finally, I was able to get a work permit that way. However, it was a very entry-level job. And I said, this is not where I want my career to be. I want to grow from here. And then I realized that I have to further my education and further myself because that's the only way I can have more opportunities. So I went to RBC. I got an $80,000 loan. It was very, very scary being here with no family, very little experience, and then going and getting what seemed at that time like an enormous loan. And I invested in myself. This is one thing I would say, to all the women out there, that you have to believe in yourself and invest in yourself. So I went and I got an MBA in finance, had this debt on me, and that's when the second hurdle hit me because I graduated in the midst of the financial crisis. Nobody was hiring, so it was very, very tough at that time. I dwindled for about 2 years, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have all this debt. I'm finally in Canada. At that time, I still wasn't a citizen. I'd applied for my PR, and I just thought everything was a dead end. But I said, you know what? I have to persevere, and I have to move forward. What can I do now? I saw a few of my friends doing very well in real estate, and I looked into it. The barrier to entry was quite low. So I said, you know what? This is a risk I'm willing to take. It's not super expensive. And it doesn't take too much time because at this point I'd invested years and years already into education. I went and I got my real estate license and I said, there's no looking back. You have to make this work. And that's how I got started.
Sehr, real estate is a very male-dominated industry. And what do you think about this? Which kind of challenges did you face in past?
You're completely right, Saima. Real estate is quite male-dominated, especially in the niche that I'm in, which is pre-construction. I would say 1 out of 10 realtors are women, but what I do to try and segregate myself, I use it as an advantage actually, because it's easier for me as a woman to stand out amongst the crowd. And what I do is, I showcase my expertise through social media. I do a lot of podcasts such as this one. I do a lot of project interviews and a lot of in-depth analysis that I portray out there on YouTube and so forth to showcase that I can provide a lot of additional value. And that's how I kind of like use it as an advantage.
That's great. Sehr, I have seen you on social media. You support many charities, animal-based charities. Which kind of charities do you support and how, and what brought you to do this?
So animals are very dear to my heart. I love animals, and as a child, like when I was living in Pakistan, I would actually bring in like baby kittens or chicks like into the house at night because I would think it's too cold for them to be outside. So that's something that's like been a part of my life for a very long time. When I came to Canada after I graduated, after I was in real estate, I said, you know what, I can't just spend all my time working, and I did carve out time for myself to embark on this journey to help animals. So the first thing that I did was I started to volunteer. This was in 2016 at the Etobicoke Humane Society. So that's something that's been a part of my life for many, many years. I was doing volunteer work there in the dog section. And then I said, what can I do more than just cleaning kennels, feeding them, and taking them for walks? Like I want that journey to be even more advanced and do even more. So I started to look into, opportunities. So from there, every time I traveled, I started to see that in other third world countries such as Mexico and St. Lucia, etc., there's actually a huge problem. And there was 23 million homeless dogs in Mexico. And when you compare that to the population of Canada, Canada in terms of people is only 38 million. So when I saw that problem, I said, how can I help? I started to work with a few animal charities there to bring back animals from there, on the plane here. I've rescued about 20 just last year. It's already been 5 this year. And it's called being a flight angel. So I started to bring dogs back, find them homes in Canada because they had no chance of finding a home there. So that was the second step. Then I said, what can I do more than this? So at this point, I'm already volunteering in Canada at the Humane Society. I'm already bringing back animals. And I realized that the best way to make an impact is spay and neuter programs. Because there's 23 million animals there, what people don't understand is that each dog can actually have 2 litters a year. Each litter can be anywhere from 6 to 9 puppies, and then a year later, those puppies are having puppies and so forth. So one female unspayed dog can reproduce up to 10,000 puppies because of this, because her puppies are having puppies and so forth, and they're having 2 litters a year. So when I realized this, I said, you know what, let me put together a spay and neuter campaign. So I raised funds in Canada amongst the real estate industry, and I got tremendous support, and I ran my first spay and neuter clinic last June in a place called Tres Rios in Mexico, where we spayed and neutered 137 dogs and cats. When you think about the impact that that's going to make in the future, that's up to 1 million puppies and kittens that are not going to be born into these homeless situations and on the streets where they're starving for food and where they're getting sick and dying and risk, getting run over and so forth. So that was the next step. So now, I'm just working on that again to do another fundraiser, to do another spay and neuter clinic, as well as bringing back dogs. I've also encouraged a lot of my friends that when you travel, because I have a lot of friends who travel to these countries like Mexico and St. Lucia, etc., to bring back animals for me. So I'm very in tune with animal charities in those countries to do that work back and forth. And I'm also doing intake at the Etobicoke Humane Society. So I'm connecting those animals that are coming with, people who've signed applications to foster and to adopt here. So it's kind of like a cycle that we're working on, and I just want to keep expanding on that.
Okay, that's great, Sehr. It's really nice. I'm enjoying talking to you, and I hope everyone is enjoying. So this segment is sponsored by We Donate Foundation, and the We Donate Foundation is around for the last 5 years and helping the people in the society. So Sehr, what do you advise to younger generation?
So I think that my advice to the younger generation would be that, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. So, before they would say that to become an expert in your field, you need 10,000 hours to become an expert. But it's not like that anymore. The younger generation is a lot luckier because now with social media, with the internet, with access to information at your fingertips so fast. Like I remember when I was in high school, I would have to look at like encyclopedias, and now it's not like that. You can literally have any answer you want, you type it into Google, you have Chat GPT now. So there's a lot of different avenues to get that expertise a lot faster. So they have that advantage and to take advantage of that. But you also have to remember that you have to do that hard work. Nobody's going to do that work for you. So set your goals, keep focused on that goal and work towards it.
How about women? Why women need to be independent? Why they need to be financially financially independent? What is your opinion about it?
Well, women need to be financially independent so that they can actually follow their real dreams and do what they want to do with their lives, rather than maybe having to be forced into situations where they have to rely on their partner for income and so forth, and stay home and take care of the kids. If they're financially independent, maybe now with a dual income, they can afford childcare, babysitters, and then do more things that they enjoy. Like me, for example, I'm able to donate towards like the animal cause because that's near and dear to my heart. But for somebody else, it might be kids, it might be cancer patients, it might be something else. If they're financially independent, then they can actually do things that fulfill them outside of just the daily tasks of life.
How can we make our lives more productive? What is your opinion about it? What do you say about it?
So I would say definitely, like at least for myself, when you're running your own business, or even if you're in a job, of course, there's a lot of pressure on you all the time, right? So there's pressure on me every day from my team, for people who rely on me. There's pressure from my sellers who want their home sold. There's pressures from developers who want units in their project sold. There's pressure from every angle, and it's all up on my shoulders, and it's every single day. Now, can you take that pressure and just sink into a hole and go to bed at night and you're just worried all the time? Of course, but the way that I handle it is I keep my eye on the goal. I say, what is my goal and how can I achieve it? So the first way that I would say that you can handle that situation to become more productive is structure your day really well. So for me, especially like this morning, for example, I'm extremely tired. I wake up super early, but I said, you know what? I'm still going to go to the gym. And that's how I personally start my day every day, because it gives me that structure to get my day going right. So having structure to your day is definitely going to help.
Of course.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like writing things down. Like I make a plan for the day, the week, and the month.
Basically to-do list, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I know that, these are the negatives, these are the positives, this is my, what I have to do. There's going to be pressure, but it's all going to be part of the plan. And that plan is going to succeed.
Okay.
So that's another thing. So having a lot of structure, having a plan, making sure that you're in tune with what needs to get done, and that will allow you to free up your time. Like me personally, I know what I'm doing every single hour of the day from weeks in advance. So I know like what are the segments of time that I have free time, what are the segments of times where I'm going to the gym, what are the segments of time where I'm going to real estate events, and then when can I do work at the shelter, when can I do things for the charity. So having that structure really allows me to have that purpose in life that is actually fulfilling, which for me is animals. It could be something for somebody else.
Yes.
And it's not like work is just overtaking your entire being.
So I hope everyone is enjoying my program. We're going for a short break, and we'll see you guys soon. Welcome back, Sahar.
Thank you.
Sahar, you are inspiration for many women in this country, and the women who are new in this country, they are immigrant. What do you suggest them if they have not so much funds, and how if they want to start their career? What advice would you give to them?
So I would say that the best, way that you can get started in your career, if you're in a situation like me, and I wish that I had done that as well, or had that opportunity, is to find somebody who's really excelling in the career that you want to be in, and maybe potentially say, hey, can I do an internship with you? Can I join your team? Right? So I actually just had a woman just literally last week reach out to me and say, you know what, is it okay if I intern with you for 2 months? And I know that it's going to take a lot of our time, and she's going to leave in 2 months. So it's like we're doing a little bit of training, but that is a way that you can get that opportunity to be with a top level, like for in our industry, real estate agent, real estate team, but that could be within any industry, whatever it is to do that free internship if needed and get that experience under your belt so that you can really showcase. Because what's going to happen is if this young lady showcases to me that she's great, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to offer her a job, right? So that's kind of like how you get yourself into that door, because once you provide value and you're with, that top person within the industry, they're not going to let you go. So I would say that's a really good way to get in the door.
So seems like you're a good leader and a great leader, Sahar.
Thank you.
Sahar, I have another question. What keeps you so motivated for so long? Who was behind you? Who was supporting you? Can you explain?
I wouldn't say anybody was supporting me, but I would say what keeps me motivated is success. Because when I achieve success, it helps me help the things that I really care about. So in my case, for example, I love helping animal charities. I like to help animals, and it allows me that financial freedom and my time to do even more towards that goal. So that really keeps me motivated. And then as I was saying, on social media, now that I produce so much content, I get messages almost daily from other women and other young entrepreneurs saying, like watching you every single day, like really inspires them to do better for themselves. So if I can motivate somebody to do even 10% better, a little bit better, and improve themselves and their life changes, and they become more successful because they're inspired by me, and then their friend sees them become more successful, gets inspired by them, then we can really move the needle, and within our community, amongst women, amongst immigrants, really make that impact and become more successful as a team. So that really inspires me that, to help others around me, other new people who've come to the country and so forth.
So, okay, thank you, Sahar. And I'm really enjoying talking to you. All of us can live a purposeful life if we come out of our houses and come out of comfort zone and help other people and society, and work towards improving our society and help in any ways. There are so many ways we can help other people. Thank you so much, Sahar, for coming and joining me in this program today. So my last question to you today is, usually I ask for everyone, what are your hobbies? How you relax yourself?
How do I relax? I don't have that much time to relax, but when I do, I actually love to work out. I love to go for a run. I love to go to the gym. I like to hang out with my pets. And I like to travel. I actually take the time and travel quite a few times a year. And when I'm in Toronto, it's like go, go, go all the time. So I do take maybe one vacation every 2 months, a quick getaway to recharge and refresh. And you're very, very right that it's very important to have that purpose in our life. And I think that the message that I would want to give to your viewers out there is that, a lot of people feel that they cannot make an impact because they're only one person. But I think what's important to remember is that whether you have 5 followers, 10 followers, or 1 million followers, it doesn't matter, because you can give that message on the platforms that we have out there right now, whether it's, Instagram or Facebook and so forth, and share our views, inspire others, educate others about, topics that you believe in, and really share that word and get your message across. And it does make an impact, because if it's even one person who listens to you, they might inspire somebody else.
Of course.
And that's how we make change.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. And the purpose for today's show was to educate people how can we live a purposeful life. So the conclusion was we should come out of our houses and start helping other people and society. Thank you very much, Sahar, for coming and joining me today.
Thank you, Saima, for having me.
And see you guys in the next show. Allah Hafiz, and take care.